Studio Ghibli often serves as the gateway for people who don't necessarily know a lot about anime, myself included, to discovering so much of the absolutely incredible music that exists within this world. Let's check it out. That's pretty cool. Notice what's going on in the bass down there, right? Listen to that again. So we're using a consistent upward motion in the bass line. We start on A minor. And then we hit G major, except in order to keep that bass line going, we don't use G in the bass. We use B, which in the key of G, what is B? It's the third. So we're using the G major chord, but it's over its third, which is B. So G over B is what we'd typically call that. And then we go right up to C major, and then we get this interesting little... Now this could be a couple different things. I mean, is this C sharp diminished, or is it A dominant with its third in the bass? And then D, and what is probably B, maybe a B7 chord with its third in the bass. So you'll see what we're doing. A lot of what we're doing is we're using like solid points where we would resolve, except we're not resolving. We're using a bass line that continues this motion. To get us all the way to where we're ultimately going, which is E minor, right? So this is a really good illustration of how when you write lines, you don't want to just necessarily jump around. Because if we played every chord in this sequence in its root position, we'd wind up with A minor, G major, C, A, maybe an A dominant, D, and then B and E. So from a motion perspective, we have this kind of strange jumping around. It certainly would work if you just wrote it that way, but that's not what they did here. It's a small thing and it's very simple, but it's really effective in creating orchestration that just feels like it makes sense. It has a pleasing sort of resolution. It forces your ear in a certain direction where you create expectations, and that's exactly what we deliver on. Oh, wait. Oh, they are using the 5 there. Look at that. So they break that upward motion only when they set up the 5 chord. And it sounds like they are using the B, which makes sense because now we're going to resolve. Ooh. Just so you know, we have a massive holiday sale going on right now. You can get a ton of huge discounts, 50, 60, even 70% off of our products on the Cornell Music Academy. So be sure to use the link down in the description and go check that out. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. This is the chord I'm questioning. I'm wondering if this is actually over B. Whatever the melody is here, I forget. It's kind of a 2-5-1. But what I'm wondering is if that actually is a B. I think it is B. Now, why would I assume that it's B? Well, once again, we're talking about motions in bass lines that are staying consistent. If we look at that's where we're going. We're winding up on this A minor chord before we do our 2-5-1 for this section, right? But we start here. I can only assume that it's going to be a B, you know, because if I jump down to a G, would that be the same chord? Would it still work? Of course it would work. It'd be fine. But we've created this beautiful motion here. Do we really want to give that up? Do we really want to go It sounds okay, but isn't this a little bit more interesting? I love that. And maybe it might not be voiced exactly that way, but that is how you can really see the effectiveness of creating these bass lines that have a consistent motion. We saw it right in the beginning. I mean, we started from here, we went, and then set up, now we're going down. Check it out. Oh, whoa! Is that what happened the first time? I gotta go back and listen, but the second time, I thought it was... But again, remember how we were talking about the motion of bass lines? We can literally play those exact same chords. E minor, B major, E minor, E dominant, but we can do it in a way where our bass line isn't doing this. That's fine, right? But if we did this instead, now we're sticking to our theme of our consistent motion bass lines going on here. And that's a very, very nice line. And it's exactly the same thing. It doesn't change functionality at all. With E minor, this is still B major. It's just that instead of using the third in the bass, we're now using the fifth in the bass. And then we go right to E minor again, or probably E minor. But who cares if we don't have the E in the bass? It's still E minor, even if we put its third in the bass. And then once again, our E dominant with its third in the bass of G sharp. And it helps us resolve very smoothly with leading tones, with those chromatic resolutions, to get to A minor right there, and then B minor, right to E minor. That is brilliant writing. Yeah. Woo! Beautiful. Let's just take a second because I want to look at that voice movement there. I guess it's not inner voice movement, it's pretty much melody, but listen to this. So we have 2, 5, 3, 6. That's our harmonic motion, but listen to the way the strings voice this melody. Look at that line. Same thing. Right? And then we wind up on that A dominant. We have an enclosure of our root there. Outline the chord, right? And then same thing, another enclosure. That's just beautiful. There's our anime chord progression. Right? We have flat 6, flat 7, 1. Sometimes you can look at that as a 4, 5, 6, but you'll remember from the video we made a while back, this is the classic anime chord progression. Yeah. This is one of my favorite chords of all time. This chord, sometimes if you want to make it kind of like, you could add, instead of just being this, you could add that note as well. You could add that note as well. I really like voicing them kind of like this. You could sort of look at this as a minor 7 sharp 5, because if we take C minor 7, right, we just make the 5 sharp, we get this. But What does that look like to you? Or sound like to you? Does it sound like a minor chord? Does it sound like a C minor chord? To me, not at all. To me, this sounds like an A flat chord. So to me, when I play this chord, anything like this, I'm looking at it as though it has the third in the bass, which is kind of what we're talking about a lot so far in this video. And it's just an A flat chord. That's kind of what I look at it as. So if I want to play this chord in C, I'm going to put its third in the bass. So it's going to be this, and this is going to be this. Now, if you want to do something really cool on the piano, take this voicing, which is just, you got a major seventh in there. It goes like 3, 1, 9, 5, 7. It's such a beautiful chord. You can literally do whatever you want with it. You can even construct improv around it and just kind of play all sorts of things. You just can't go wrong with a chord like that. Wow. Isn't it amazing how much mileage you can get out of something as simple as that? Flat 6 to flat 7, 1. It's an unbelievable chord progression, especially when you put it in the context of this big string ensemble. It's just absolutely beautiful. Ooh. Have you guys ever noticed this? This is a chord you hear a lot in anime, isn't it? I mean, this major 7th chord with sharp 11. But that's a very common chord we hear a lot in these orchestrations, especially in Studio Ghibli. It's a very common Studio Ghibli sound. And then we switch key altogether and we just go same flat 6, flat 7, 1, but now in the key of B flat minor instead of our original key, which was F minor. That's an F minor. That's in B flat minor. Same thing though. Absolutely amazing work from Joe Hisaishi here. So we have a 4, 5, 1. We think we're gonna get, the logical place to go here would be 5 to the 1, right? 2, 5, 1. But instead we have 2 and then 5, 1, but to the minor key instead of major. That's a clever move there. Interesting. So this is an interesting form that I'm hearing both in the piano and then when the brass comes in as well. So we have this thing. Now here, you would typically expect it to maybe go, and then from there you can go wherever you want. What is that? Is that Spirited Away? I think that might be Spirited Away.
Yep.
So we have... And then it kind of starts over. Yeah, it's interesting and very simple. And I think that's one of the things that draws so much of the anime music together, is that a lot of it harmonically is not necessarily all that complicated. Where it derives its complication is sometimes in the way that it changes keys, or the way that the orchestration sort of morphs into different harmonic areas, even if it's using like the same kind of structure over and over again. Like when the brass comes in this one, we actually hear the exact same chord progression, but just in a different key. This is a very common thing that gets used a lot in anime. And what we often hear are these classic sounds, whether it's the flat 6, flat 7, 1 chord progression, or even something like that major 7, sharp 11 sound. Regardless of what we use, it often is used in a way that's simple and just so effective. To learn more about what a lot of this stuff means that we're talking about and how to apply it on the piano, be sure to check out our holiday sale on the Cornell Music Academy. We have all of our products currently on sale. You can buy single products for 50% off, or if you want to buy certain bundles, we have our Ultimate Intro bundle as well as our Improv Essentials bundle available for 99 bucks. Or if you want to get all of our courses, all 6 of them as one giant bundle, it's available for 70% off the original price right now, and it's only through Christmas. So check out the link down below and check out the courses that we have to offer. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of instruction and video, and countless exercises and actionable steps. There's so much content in there to work on your skills, work on playing the piano, work on your understanding of music theory. And if you're not familiar, the courses we have available right now include an intro to the piano, intro to improvisation, intro to music theory, as well as Harmony 101, making sense of modes, and our improv obstacle course. It's all available at the link in the description below, and once again, that's 50% off any one course, or if you want to bundle some courses together in different configurations, it'll save you even more money. So be sure to take advantage of it while that sale lasts, and you know guys, that's the best way that you can support the channel if you like the content that we produce here. It does a ton to help us out, and it allows us to continue doing what we love to do, which is creating this content for you guys. So I want to thank you so much for your support, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I want to know your recommendations in the comments below for other stuff from either Studio Ghibli or just other anime in general that you would like me to check out. Let me know your recommendations in those comments below, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We will see you in the next one.